Hare Krishna, welcome you all to the Sunday Bhagavad Gita classes. So we are in the chapter 2 of Bhagavad Gita, and chapter 2 of Bhagavad Gita is also known as a summary of Bhagavad Gita. So we saw that Pandavas and Kauravas, they are assembled in the battlefield of Kurukshetra, and Arjuna, being in the battlefield, he was reluctant to fight as he had to fight against his own family members. So upon that, he was putting various arguments to Krishna for not fighting. So first argument was out of compassion, and second argument was loss of enjoyment, and third argument was fear of sinful activities, and fourth argument was destruction of family tradition.
Family traditions.
And the beginning of the second chapter, we saw that Arjuna was overcome by compassion and lamentation, and he started having tears in his eyes, and he became totally indecisive. He has reached the peak of his problems where he could not know how to find the solution. So at that point of time, Arjuna took shelter of Krishna as his guru. So Krishna, taking the position of a guru, he started instructing Arjuna about whatever the arguments which Arjuna put forward, Krishna would be slowly refuting on that. So the first argument which Arjuna put forward was on the ground of compassion. So Krishna is instructing Arjuna on the knowledge of the soul. So we are actually not the body, we are the soul. So if Arjuna is killing someone, is he actually killing anyone? Because our real
it's only the
identity
body.
is we are the soul and we are not the
Not
body.
body.
So because his grandfather, his teachers, they are already in the old age, even if they are giving up the body, they will either go to Swargaloka or they will go to Vaikuntha Loka. So either way, it would be beneficial for him. And the second argument which Arjuna put forward on the laws of enjoyment, Krishna is refuting, saying that if he wins the kingdom, he will be ruling the earthly planets. If he loses, if he dies in the battlefield, he will go to heavenly planet. So in both the ways, it is going to be a win-win situation for Arjuna. And the third argument which Arjuna put forward on the fear of sinful activities, Krishna is instructing about doing our prescribed duties, Swadharma. Each and every living entity, we have our own duties to be performed according to our Varna and Ashrama. So Arjuna, being a Kshatriya, the duty of Kshatriya is to fight and to establish Dharma. Therefore, by not performing his duty, Arjuna would rather become sinful. Arjuna thought, if I fight, I will be sinful. But Krishna is saying that if you do not fight, you will become sinful. And the fourth argument, which Arjuna is talking about, destruction of the family traditions and rituals, Krishna is talking about the flowery words of Vedas. Vedas, what Yamima Pushpitam Vacham. So they are like all like a flowery words, and which makes a person to do fruitive activities. And while performing fruitive activities, what happens? We become more and more entangled in the material world because we want to get more and more from this world. So therefore, Krishna is saying that to follow the higher consciousness, that is Krishna consciousness, which is Buddhi Yoga. And Krishna starts instructing Arjuna on the topic of Buddhi Yoga. So he is telling Arjuna that Neha Bikramanasosti Pratyavayo na vidyate Swalpamapyasya dharmasya trayato mahato bhayat. In this endeavor, there is no loss or diminution. Even a little bit of dharma, Swalpamapyasya dharmasya, will relieve a person from the greatest danger of fear, which is the death. So we saw various pastimes in Bhagavad Mahapuran. Gajendra, who was Gajendra in his past life? Anybody knows that? He was King Indradyumna.
Okay.
So he did not receive sage Agastya in a proper way, because of which he got cursed and he became an elephant. And in the body of the elephant, once when he was going to take a shower in a pond, one of the crocodile catches his legs. So
Leg.
Gajendra is trying very hard to relieve himself from the clutches of the crocodile, but in vain, because crocodile is a water animal
Yeah.
and elephant is a land animal. So we saw that Gajendra was losing his strength. So we saw Gajendra, who was a king in his previous life, he lost his position, he lost his fame, he lost his identity, everything he lost. But one thing he did not lose. What he did not
Bhakti.
lose is the bhakti. He remembered one of the prayers that he used to recite to Lord Krishna while he was in the body of the Indradyumna Maharaj. And that prayer he offered with a lotus flower, because it was a pond, there are a lot of lotus flower. And Krishna immediately came and rescued Gajendra. And that is why it's called as Gajendra Mokshan. And who is this carrier? Garuda. And Garuda is such a fast carrier. The
Yeah.
fastest thing in this world is the mind. The mind can travel very fast. And Garuda can even travel million times faster than the mind. But Krishna felt that Garuda's speed was not good enough.
Enough.
So he put Garuda on his
On
top
his
and
shoulder.
he came. And because he immediately want to rescue the devotee.
Gajendra.
So we can see that when we are performing devotion, this is the only thing that will come with us life after life. Even if we do not attain perfection, even if we do not go back home, back to Godhead this very lifetime, but whatever bhakti we have done, that is not going to go in vain. Whereas in this material world, anything that we have obtained, it is going to be temporary. We might have got PhD in 2, 3 subject matters, but next time, if we are taking a human form of life, you have to again start with ABCD. Have you seen any KG student, 5 year old, who is having the knowledge of a PhD person? Very, very, very rarely we see
Right.
such kind of child prodigy. But we see many devotee children, right? Many small children who are born in the family of devotees, they are immediately taking up the devotional service. Like when we go to the temple, we see small, small children who are coming and attending Mangalarti. And they are not morose, they are very, very cheerful. From 4:30 till the time of Guru Puja, you see that they are happy and they are cheerful. They are not with their phones, they are not with anything, they are not with any device, TV, but they are very happy. Like that, not just one or two. We see many children because probably they must have done devotional service in their
The
past
past.
life. And Krishna is instructing Arjuna on the benefits of Buddhi Yoga. So there are 4 benefits of Buddhi Yoga, which Krishna has instructed Arjuna. Can we recall them? What are the 4 benefits? Freedom from good and bad
Good.
reactions.
Uh,
So, because we saw in detail, both good and bad reactions is not good. Papa and Punya, both are not good. And
good.
second thing is freedom from the cycle of repeated birth
Repeated
and
birth and
death.
death.
And indifferent to Vedic rituals,
Yeah.
because we saw that the Vedic rituals are mostly based on fruitive activities, and by performing fruitive activities, a jiva gets more and more entangled. Therefore, he is directly performing Krishna consciousness, performing bhakti to Krishna. And what was the fourth thing?
Realization of relationship with Krishna.
Realization of relation with Krishna, knowing that we are not the body, we are the
We
soul
are the
is
soul.
good. But being a soul, who are we?
We are the
We
eternal
are all
servants
the
of.
eternal servant of Krishna. So these are the 4 benefits of Buddhi Yoga. And now Arjuna is asking Krishna, because Krishna spoken in detail about a person in Buddhi Yoga. So now Arjuna is asking about the symptom of the person. If a person is Krishna conscious, then how can we identify such person? Anything we can recognize with the symptom. With the symptom we can know if a person is rich or poor. With the
Yes.
symptom we can know if the person is educated or uneducated. With the symptom, we know we are healthy or we are sick. Likewise, if a person is Krishna consciousness, he would have certain symptoms. So, what are they? So, these are the questions which Arjuna is putting forward. Sthita Prajnasa Kabasha. Who is Sthita Prajna? Is a person who is Krishna conscious, who is fixed in
Conscious.
Krishna conscious.
Krishna
Kabasha.
conscious.
How does he speak? Samadhistasya Keshava. So, how is he merged in transcendence? And Stitadhim kim prabhasheta. So, how does he speak? What is his language? And kimasita vrajeta kim. So, how does he
How
sit?
does he
So, what
sit?
is a symptom of a Krishna conscious person? So, Krishna would be answering to the questions of Arjuna. Arjuna again put forward 4 questions here. So, the first question about the symptom of a person who is in Krishna conscious, who is merged in transcendence, he answers in the sloka number 56,
55.
where he's 55, sorry. Yeah, he's saying that that particular person is completely free from all kind of sense gratification. His goal is only to please Krishna's senses,
Krishna.
not his own senses. He is completely free from any kind of sense gratificatory desires. We saw that Sarvapadi Vinirmuktam Tat Paratvena Nirmalam Rishikena Rishikesha Sevanam Bhaktiruchate. A devotee, by serving Rishikesha, the master of senses, he is coming out of all kind of designation. He knows that his real designation is he is just the eternal servant
The
of
servant
Krishna.
of Krishna.
And what does a servant does? A good servant, a real servant, an obedient servant only pleases the master.
Krishna.
So the goal of a devotee is not to please his own senses, but to please the senses of
Master.
Krishna.
His master.
And he does not make any plans. He knows that whatever happens, it can only happen if Krishna desires.
Yeah.
So we does not make plans, okay, I'm going to construct a house, I'm going to educate my children like this, I'm going to get my children married this way, married that way. We see in this material world, every person makes n number of plans. As soon as a person wakes up, he starts planning, right? What do I do in the day? What all I should do? What should I follow up? But a Krishna conscious person knows that everything can happen
Krishna
only
willing.
by Krishna's desire. Krishna. So he does not make any plans, no mental concoctions. He cannot think, okay, I think this is the way I can obtain God. I think this is correct. I think perhaps. Like we see how the scientists they make hypothesis, maybe like this, maybe like that. No, he is completely following the instruction of Krishna because Krishna has come in the form of Shastras, Guru, Sadhu, and Shastras, or his GPS. He follows the instruction of Guru and he is respecting the Sadhus, Guru, Sadhu, and Shastras. And Shastras, whatever is given in Shastras, he tries to follow that. Not only knowing the Shastras is good, knowledge is good, but the most important thing is how do you live with the knowledge? Jnana Vrit. You have to live according to the knowledge. Dhritarashtra, he had knowledge. Hiranyakashipu, he had knowledge. Ravana, he had knowledge. But were they able to live with that knowledge? No. But we saw that Yudhishthir, he was following the dharma. Not only he knew what is dharma, but he was also following dharma. Arjuna, he was following the dharma. So the important thing for us is we need to use this knowledge. We need to apply this knowledge in our practical life, not just obtaining the knowledge. So that is very important. He does not make any kind of plans. He is completely dependent on the mercy of Krishna. Whatever happens, he knows that is by Krishna's mercy. If at all a devotee desires, his desire is only to serve Krishna. How do I serve Krishna? That's all. Even in that service, he does not say for sure he will do. He will say Krishna willing.
Krishna willing.
Like an advanced devotee, if they are giving class the next day, I've seen many times Guru Maharaj, when he gives the class, once he finished the class, he says, Krishna willing, see you tomorrow morning.
No.
Yes, he is always in the service of Krishna. He doesn't have any other desires. Even in that service, they think only if Krishna willing. So that is very important for us. So that's what Prabhupada said very clearly, that a Krishna conscious person does not make any plan. If he starts making a plan, that means he is not completely in Krishna consciousness. So the next question which Arjuna put forward is, how does he speak? Speech is a very, very important factor in our life. Speech can make friends or it can break friends.
Argument.
It can make. So it's very, very important. How does a Krishna conscious person speaks? And Krishna is replying to Arjuna's query in the next two slokas, sloka number 56 and sloka number 57.
57.
So, Krishna willing, we will do both the slokas today. Please repeat
Ji.
after me. Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, text 56. Dukkeshvano dvignamana
दुःखेष्वनोद्विग्नमनः
sukeshu vigataspraha
सुखेषु विगतस्पृशः
vitaraga bhaya krodha
वीतरागभयो
Sitadirmuni uchyate.
स्थिताधिर्मुनिरुच्यते
Dukkeshvano dvignamana
दुःखेष्वनोद्विग्नमनः
Sukeshu vigataspraha
सुखेषु विगतस्पृहः
Vitaraga bhaya krodha
वीतरागभयो क्रोध
Sitadirmuni uchyate.
स्थिताधिर्मुनिरुच्यते
Dukkeshvano dvignamana
दुःखेष्वनोर्दिग्विग्मनः
Sukeshu vigataspraha
सुखेषु विगतस्पृशः
Vitaraga bhaya krodha
वीतरागभयो क्रोध
Sitadirmunir uchyate.
स्थिताधिर्मुनिरुच्यते
Would like to do this sloka? Lekha Mataji, would you like to do?
Yeah, I can do that.
Please.
दुःखेष्वनो विघ्नमना
Dukkeshvano vignamana
केषु विगतस्पृहा
Sukeshu
दुःखेषु
vigataspraha
विगतस्पृहः
वीतरागभयक्रोधा
Vitaraga bhaya
भयो क्रोध
krodha
स्थिताधिर्मुनिरुच्यते
Sitadirmunir
मुनिरुच्यते
uchyate.
दुःखेषु in the threefold miseries anudva vignamana without being agitated in mind, sukheshu in happiness, vigadaspraha without being interested, vita free from, raga attachment, bhaya fear, krodha anger, stitadi whose mind is steady, munin a sage, uchyate is called. Translation: one who is not disturbed in mind, even amidst the threefold miseries, or elated when there is happiness, and who is free from attachment, fear, and anger, is called a sage of steady mind.
Thank you, Mataji. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vikasa Swami Tinamini. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Tinamini. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyata Destarini. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So here Krishna is talking about Stitadir Munir. Stitadir Munir means a sage with a steady mind. Stita means fixed mind. So what is the quality of a person in a fixed mind is Dukkesh Anudvignamana. So whenever he is facing any calamities, so calamities in this material world mainly comes to us in the form of threefold miseries. What are the threefold miseries? Adi Bhautik, Adi Daivik, or Adhyatmik. Adhyatmik means the miseries due to our own body and mind. And Adi Bhautik means the miseries due to the other living entity. And the Adi Daivik is the miseries due to some natural calamities. So we see that we are all affected by this threefold miseries. So whenever a devotee is coming across any such miseries, he is not very disturbed. He thinks that because of his past karma, he might even have to suffer much more than what he is undergoing. But because Krishna is so merciful, he made it very less. So that is the way in which he tolerates the difficulties in the life. He does not curse the Lord, saying that, Krishna, I have been dedicating my life for you. I have been chanting 16 rounds for you. I'm also doing some service. I'm also doing some contributions for you. I'm doing so many things for you. Why do you do that to me? Does the devotee say that? No. Whatever the difficulties he is undergoing, he thinks that it is because of his own past karma.
Karma.
This is beautifully explained by Brahma ji in the Canto 10 of Srimad Bhagavatam. He says a beautiful verse, Tattenu kampam susamikshamano bunjana evatma kritam vipakam. He says that whatever difficulties I am facing is because of my own past karma.
Karma.
So that devotee who is in that kind of mindset, who undergoes the difficulty, who is facing the difficulties in that way, he is all eligible to enter the kingdom of the Lord. But in this material world, we see exactly opposite. Whenever people are facing difficulties, if there is an untimely death of a family members or their near and dear ones, people think that Krishna had been unfair with them and they give up their prayers to the Lord also. Many people, they become atheists also when some difficulties comes. When they have been devoted to the Lord, and if they feel that, it is not properly reciprocated to them, they become indifferent. Whereas a devotee is undergoing the difficulty, considering that difficulty is also the mercy of the
The Lord.
Lord. So recently, if you remember, I posted a picture, a video of a Maharaj, His Holiness Jayaprataka Swami Maharaj. When he was singing the Kirtan in the Kirtan Mela, there were tears coming from the eyes of the Srivas Thakura. So Maharaj is undergoing so many difficulties. He has undergone more than 20 surgeries. Name not organ transfer. He has kidney failure. He has skin cancer. So many difficulties he is undergoing in his bodily wise, but he is so steadfast in devotion. He has like more than 50,000 disciples because Prabhupada personally instructed him to initiate as many people as possible. So this was a special instruction he received from his Guru Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada. So in spite of his ill health, his not so good health, nothing stopped. He is going on preaching. Even a month or couple of months back, he was in Mumbai. He's also traveling. He did not locate himself in one particular
One
place.
place.
But if you're taking any material person who is in a situation like the Maharaj, what he is undergoing, he will not even sit. He won't even do anything. They'll be completely shattered. And hardly we can expect that, many doctors themselves, or, consider how come a person with so much conditions can still be live, because he is living because of the spiritual force. And seeing Maharaj efforts, we saw the deities, they reciprocate, because Archa Vigraha is non-different from Krishna. Whenever we are going to temple, when we are praying the deity, it is the Lord himself. He is not different from the Lord. So we could see how the deities are reciprocating, seeing that in spite of that condition, how he is doing. And Maharaj is non-stop preaching. Okay. And okay, one thing, we can tolerate the difficulties. How about happiness? Is it easy to tolerate the happiness? When we are too elated, they say the word, right? Cloud number 9. So we do not know what we do. We jump out of the joy. We reach out to people. We need to talk about our success. We need our name to come in the newspaper. We need everybody to know about our achievements, right? So we get too much into the happiness also. But a devotee, even if such happiness comes in the life, he thinks that I am not eligible for such thing. But you, because of your kindness, because of your mercy, happiness has come in my life. Otherwise, who am I? What did I do that I'm not even qualified to receive so much happiness in the life. So whether it is happiness, whether it is distress, he is not affected by that. Maybe little sad when you're facing some difficulty, maybe little happy when something is really good happening to us, but both of them are in a limited quantity, not in a very high quantity.
Extreme.
We see how extremely people become so much depressed and they have to be in the pill, they go to the psychologist, they go to psychiatrist and all those things. And we see people who are extremely happy, they post so many pictures of them in the Facebook, in the status, in the Instagram, here and there. They want to share their happiness to every person in the world whom they know. So we see
No.
that they are extremely happy or they are extremely sad. But a devotee is probably little happy and little sad. And Vita, Raga, Baya, Krodha. Vita means he is free. Raga, attachment. A devotee is free from all kinds of attachments. We see that each and every living entity is attached to the family, to the friends, to the society, to the country, to this. So many attachments we are in with. Generally, say the best birth, the best death is if you are dying in a place where you don't have any of your near and dear ones. Because if you're surrounded with your near and dear ones, automatically your heart, you're attached to them and you're
No.
leaving the body in that consciousness. So, most likely, you may take birth in the same family again because of our attachment to the
Attachment.
family. But if you're dying in a place where none of your family members, your friends are there, that is considered to be the most superior death because nobody is there for you to remind themselves, right? Then probably there are more chances for us to remember Krishna, right?
Krishna.
Yudhishthir Maharaj, when he came to know that Krishna has left this world,
Yes.
he immediately, he got detached and he just left the palace and he just started walking, 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 walking. That's all. Like that, people they just leave and then they leave their body because they get totally detached with raga,
Detached.
bhaya. Every living entity is fearful in this world, right? We are fearful about our future. We are fearful about our investments. We are fearful about many things in the life, right? An ordinary living entity, if you ask how much things that makes him scared or fearful, so many things. A student is fearful about the examination. If a student is little bit on a higher grades, he is fearful about his future. We are fearful about our own investments. How is the economy going? Whatever money we save, will it give us proper returns or will it be helping to come out of the inflation? We are fearful about our health. So many things we are fearful. And anger, when our desires doesn't get fulfilled, then what happens? We get angry. And there are beautiful slokas which Krishna talks about anatomy of angry. Dhyato Vishayan Pumsa. How one person gets angry. And if a person gets angry, what happens to him? What are the post effect of the anger? Everything is so beautifully explained, will be explained by Krishna in the future verses. And in fact, in the fourth chapter, he is particularly talking about this Vitaraga Bhaya Krodha. Because all the people who are attached, who have taken shelter of lotus feet of Krishna, Krishna is giving assurance to Arjuna that they have come out of this Raga, Bhaya, and Krodha. And who is he called? Sitadir Muni, not an ordinary Muni. He is a sage of steady mind.
Steady.
Because whatever situation comes in the life, he is steady. The situations are not going to change his relation with Krishna and his mindset. He would be equipoised. He would not get too much elated or he will not get too much distressed. So that is called a Sitadir Munir or a person who is in Krishna consciousness.
Conscious.
We'll go through the purport. Lekha Mataji, can you read?
So, who is Muni? The word Muni means one who can agitate his mind in various ways for mental speculation without coming to a factual conclusion. It is said that every Muni has a different angle of vision, and unless a Muni differs from other Munis, he cannot be called a Muni in the strict sense of the term. Nasa Vrishir Yaswa
Yes.
Madam Na Bhinnam.
This
From
coming in Mahabharat Vanaparva. So generally a Muni means every Muni has his own way. He speculates himself about who is God, who is the thing. And generally today's Muni, whom we can say, scientists. They're all mental speculators. They come with various theories. The world is formed like this. We can get out of the death. We can, by if we do this, they did stem cell invention, so that by doing that, they think that we can. And there are few scientists who are also doing the research by preserving the corpse. They are giving assurance that in some time they would bring life to that corpse. So they are all mental speculators. They think they can do this. They think they can do that. They are defying the laws of the Lord. And even if you see, there are many sages, when they come together, sages of various philosophy, they argue with each other. Correct? If you have people, for example, who is following Jainism, who is following Buddhism, who is following the Shankara philosophy, who is following the Vaishnava, you see, when all these people come together, what will happen? They will argue with each other. Okay. So that is a Muni. So a Muni is a one who has knowledge, but probably he does not have the exact factual knowledge. He has some knowledge based on his own mental concoctions, what he thinks is right, on his own false ego. But here Prabhupada is talking about what kind of Muni? Not an ordinary Muni. He is giving an explanation of Sthitadir Muni. Before giving the explanation of Sthitadir Muni, Prabhupada is giving through his purport who is a Muni. So we should not confuse Muni and Sthitadir Muni to be on a same level. Sthitadir Muni is a person who is in Krishna consciousness. Mataji, please go ahead.
So who is Sthita Dhir Muni? But a Sthita Dhir Muni, as mentioned herein by the Lord, is different from an ordinary Muni. The Sthita Dhir Muni is always in Krishna consciousness, for he has exhausted all his business of creative speculation. He is called Prashanta Nishesha Mano Rathantara, or one who has surpassed the stage of mental speculations and has come to the conclusion that Lord Sri Krishna or Vasudev is everything. Vasudeva Sarvam iti sa Mahatma Sudurlabha. He is called a Muni fixed in mind.
So Sthitadir Muni, factually every jiva has to come to the conclusion that Vasudeva Sarvamiti. Until you come to the conclusion that Vasudeva is everything, we will be in the cycle of repeated birth and death. A Sthitadir Munir is the one who has already come to this conclusion that Vasudeva is everything. And what did Krishna say? Sa Mahatmasu Durlabha. Such a soul is very rare. We can also see, even though Krishna consciousness is available today, there are many chances for people to come into Krishna consciousness. There are Nagar Sankirtans happening. There are books being distributed. There are so many Prashadam distribution being happen. So there are a lot of opportunities for people to take up Krishna consciousness. But in spite of that, do we see that everybody has taken up Krishna consciousness so easily? Is it so easy for a person to surrender himself to Krishna, knowing that Krishna is everything? We see even the people who say themselves, they are spiritual. They say that, right now I am young, I have some desires to be fulfilled. This is an age to enjoy. Let me become little old. Let my children become older. Let them get married. And that point of time, let me be more focused on my determination towards the spirituality, towards the God, because they say they are spiritual. They have a very beautiful puja room and everything. But in spite of everything, they cannot completely surrender themselves to the God, surrender to Krishna, because they think they have so many desires to be fulfilled. Because every jiva is taking birth in this world because of various desires a jiva is having. So, therefore, it is not very easy for a person to come out of all the desire, to know his real relationship with the Lord, and come to the factual conclusion that Vasudeva Sarvamiti. Vasudeva is everything, and such a soul is very rare.
Yes.
And he's steady in Krishna consciousness. Whatever situation comes, he is chanting. Like as I said, His Holiness Jayaprataka Swami Maharaj. In spite of 20 surgeries, he's undergoing, he has stroke. He can't even speak very clearly, properly, because one side of his body is affected. In spite of that, we see that how steady he is in Krishna consciousness.
Consciousness.
Right? And in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela, there is a sloka which Yamunacharya is telling. Bhavantam evanucharan nirantara prashanta nihesha manorata tara kadambam aikanika nitya kinkara praha sa ishyami sa nata jivitam. By serving you constantly, one is freed from the material desire and is completely pacified. When shall I engage as your permanent eternal servant and always feel joyful to have such a perfect master?
Master.
So, how can one come out of all these material desires? It is not very easy for someone to come out of material desires. But by serving Krishna constantly, by service of Krishna, that's what we're Rishikena Rishikesha Sevanam Bhakti Ruchyate. When you're constantly serving Rishikesha, the master of senses, Tat Paratvena Nirmala, we automatically get purified. We cannot become desireless. If we become desireless, then we become stones. Because that desire is the very nature of the soul. But what do we desire? The desire is to serve Krishna
Krishna.
eternally. So this is the thing Yamunacharya is saying. When shall I engage as your permanent eternal servant and always feel joyful to have such a perfect master? In the 9th chapter, Krishna says, Susukam kartum abhyayam. How is the devotional service performed? Very joyfully. A devotee is very joyful. A devotee is not morose. If you see, a devotee's face is very effulgent. Doesn't matter whatever his color of his skin is, but he is always effulgent. He or she is always joyful, always effulgent. So that is very important. So to become desireless of this material world or to come out of the material desires, one should constantly serve Krishna.
Krishna.
Okay. And Mataji, please go ahead. Characteristics of Sitadir Muni.
Characteristics of Siddhadhir Muni. Such a fully Krishna conscious person is not at all disturbed by the onslaughts of the threefold miseries, for he accepts all miseries as the mercy of the Lord, thinking himself only worth of more trouble due to his past misdeeds. And he sees that his miseries, by the grace of Lord, are minimized to the lowest. Similarly, when he is happy, he gives credit to the Lord, thinking himself unworthy of the happiness. He realizes that it is due only to the Lord's grace that he is in such a comfortable condition and able to render better service to the Lord. And for the service of the Lord, he is always daring and active and is not influenced by attachment or aversion.
We just saw that a devotee thinks whatever difficulties he is facing through is not because Krishna is unfair on him, it is because of his own misdeeds.
Past karma.
Rather, he thinks that Krishna has minimized. I should be suffering more. Maybe I should have my head broken, but only my legs got broken. Right? Even if he has a fracture, he doesn't think that, okay, maybe, I shouldn't have crossed the road this time, or maybe I shouldn't have driven this. He knows, okay, he has to suffer. Maybe something bad would have happened, but things did not go that bad, and it just happened. A very, very small thing. And even if he faces a very happy situation, he thinks that it is only because of Krishna's mercy.
Because
He is undergoing such happiness in his life. Sudama is a very good example. When he was very poor, he was serving Krishna, and Krishna bestowed him with all the wealth. The wealth that Krishna bestowed on Sudama is more than the wealth that Indra possesses. But in spite of that, did Sudama become wavered in his devotional service to Krishna? He remained unwavered. No matter whether he had wealth or whether he didn't have wealth, that did not stop him from serving Krishna. So sometimes what happens? Sometimes when people become very wealthy and they get higher promotions or anything, we see that people become more and more entangled in the job. They may be attending the classes, maybe 1 or 2 years, and later because they got some promotion and their job became more demanding. And what do people do? They give up Krishna consciousness. They think that, now I have more things to do. I have more things in my plate. I have a lot of things to be doing in my job front. And I have my home also. I have to take care of my family also. Now I don't have time to listen to the class. Now I don't have time to chant. Now I don't want to do. Yes, I am Krishna conscious. Maybe I will do some couple of rounds, or maybe I'll do 4 rounds. And they think that they are Krishna conscious. So is this the right way of a Siddhartha Muni? Does that? When Sudama
No.
got a wealth more than what Indra possesses, did Sudama fall down from his position of being a devotee?
No.
No. He has so many people serving him. Imagine a wealth more than Indra. At one step, you will have people serving you, right? In this material world, if you have 2 servants, you think you're so great. And Sudama had like millions of servants. So how great you feel about yourself. But that did not change him. So Siddhartha Muni is always fixed in his consciousness, attachment or aversion. Even while serving Krishna, okay, suppose a seva like book distribution, it is not a very easy task. A devotee is in the sunlight and he is in the heat, he is undergoing thing, and people are not even, hearing to him. Some people, they give a very different look and they kind of disrespect you and everything. But does a devotee give up his service of distributing the books? No, he goes on and on without any attachment and aversion. This is what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted. He wanted Jare Teko, Tare Kaho, Krishna Upadesh. He wanted this Krishna Upadesh to be given to each and every living entity. Therefore, following the instruction of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu all the way through Srila Prabhupada, I am trying to please the parampara. That's all. Not taking his own personal gains or loss. Okay, so we see that a Siddharthir Munir is always steady in determination, and a Siddharthir Munir is not engaged in creative speculation. He does not think, okay, maybe if I do this, I will obtain God. If I do that, I will obtain God. Some people say there is a very famous Mayavadi sannyas who says that it is not easy to find the absolute truth, because an absolute truth is like a salt doll, a doll made up of salt. If the doll made up of salt is immersed in the ocean, what will happen to the doll? The doll will get merged, and the doll will not come out. So he says that the absolute truth, if a person is in search of absolute truth and if he gets it, he gets merged. So nobody knows who is the absolute truth. But Krishna says in Srimad Bhagavatam, the very first sloka, Janmadasya yatonvayat itaratas chardeva bignaswarat. He says that I am the absolute truth. When Krishna himself declared, I am the absolute truth, what is the difficulty for us to accept that? Right? That we do not know, because we become our own speculators, right? So that thing, a devotee, a Siddhartha Munir comes and he accepts Krishna as a supreme. Vasudeva Sarvamiti Sa Mahatmasu Durlabha. And he is not disturbed by what all the things? Threefold miseries. And he is not too elated when he is happy. And he is completely free from raga, bhaya, krodha. Attachment or aversion, fear and anger. So this is a characteristic of Sitadir Muni, which is just put in a flowchart for our easy understanding. I think, is it clear who is the Sitadir Muni? So one thing is he has accepted Krishna as the supreme personality of Godhead. And second thing is he is not affected by the threefold
Three
miseries,
miseries.
or he is not too elated when he is happy. And the third
Pure,
thing is he is free from
complete from
attachment, fear, and
attachment,
anger.
fear, and
Raga,
anger.
Bhaya, Krodha. Okay.
Hmm.
So, what is attachment and detachment? Mataji, go ahead.
So, what is attachment and detachment? Attachment means accepting things for one's own sense gratification, and detachment is the absence of such sensual attachment. But one fixed in Krishna consciousness has neither attachment nor detachment because his life is dedicated in the service of the Lord.
So, Prabhupada, there are certain sannyasis, they say that I won't even touch the wealth. If I touch, Maya will catch me. So, but what did Prabhupada do? Prabhupada took all the wealth, whomsoever is donating, but who did we utilize it for? Did he utilize for his own sense gratification? He utilized it to
For
propagate Krishna
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 consciousness.
consciousness.
He built
consciousness.
so many temples. Within a span of 10 years, Prabhupada, in his presence, overseen 108 temples. So he did not. So this is called Yukta Vairagya. We are not leaving things. For example, now we are all using devices like iPads, mobiles, or laptops, or anything. But many people use these devices only for sense gratification. But what do we use it for? We are using it to hear about Krishna.
Krishna.
We are not rejecting things, but we are utilizing things for
For the
Krishna's
better
service. We want to eat something nice. So it's not that we think, okay, if I eat something nice, I will fall down from devotion. No. We prepare it, we offer it to Krishna, and we eat it as a prasadam.
Prashadam.
Then that food becomes sanctified. It's not that, okay, I will only eat dal rice throughout the day. I will not eat anything in my life other than the dal rice. No. A devotee is eating everything that is palatable, nice, but by offering it to Krishna. So, doing everything that is pleasing Krishna, that is called detachment. Okay, that's all. So, result, Mataji.
So, consequently, he is not at all angry even when his attempts are unsuccessful.
Very important thing. People get angry if their
Yeah.
desires does not get fulfilled. But a
Fulfilled.
Sitadir Muni does not become angry. Whether it is successful or unsuccessful, he considers that to be the mercy of Krishna. Yeah.
Success or no success, a Krishna conscious person is always steady in his
He
determination.
keeps on doing whatever he wants to do. Like, whether because I have to serve Krishna, that's most important, right? That's the thing. So we just do the discussion of purport. So who is a Sitadir Muni? He is steady in mind.
In the mind.
He is always in
Always
Krishna
in Krishna
consciousness, and he has
consciousness.
exhausted all creative speculation. That is most important, because in this world we create many, many speculations. Okay, it may be like this, may be like that. No. A Muni, one can agitate his mind in various ways, like a normal Muni for mental speculation without factual conclusion. All Munis have different angles of vision, right? Some people say that any path you take, that is okay. How can it be okay? For example, if you're going to Pune, you have to go to the road that takes you to Pune.
Yeah.
If you're taking the road to some other place, then I don't know, I think Nasik is different from Pune, then can you go to Pune? No, right? Yatopat tatopat. Not like that. We should have a proper direction, right? Mataji, if you want to go to your office in Andheri, you have to come through Ghatkopar and go, right? You cannot go to Navi Mumbai and go to Andheri, correct?
You have to follow the right path.
Right path. So that is very important. So how one in Krishna consciousness is, he is equipoised and he is free from attachment, fear and
Attachment,
anger.
fear,
Raga, Bhaya, Krodha.
Vaira,
And
Krodha.
he is steady in determination in his service to Krishna. Whatever comes and goes, I will remain as a servant of Krishna. We have seen many devotees as an example. Prabhupada himself was an example. Even though he faced so many health issues, he faced 2 heart attacks just on his voyage to America. But Prabhupada would have just dropped, himself would have got down in some place and he would have come back to India. But did Prabhupada do that? No. Once Prabhupada was admitted due to the stroke in New York hospital. And, he was not happy with the treatment. And Prabhupada escaped and came. because they were not discharging him. So he made a thing and he escaped. So he went on and on. But if you consider his body, imagine a person at 70 years who suffered 2 heart attacks. He went on and on and on for next 11 years all over the world. Prabhupada covered around 40-45 countries and he established 108 temples and 5,000, 6,000 disciples he initiated, right? So we can see how a Sitadev Munir, a perfect example is Srila Prabhupada.
Prabhupada.
We'll do the sloka number 57. Please repeat after me. Yes, sarvatra na bishnehas.
Yes,
यशर्वत्राणाभिषेकः
Tat prapya shubhashubham.
तत्तत् प्राप्य
Tatprapya
शुभाशुभम्
Shubhashubham.
Nabhinandati nadveshi.
नाभिनन्दति न द्वेषी
Tasya prajna pratishthata.
तस्य प्रज्ञा प्रतिष्ठता
Pratishthita.
Yes, sarvatra na bishnehas.
यः
Yes,
सर्वत्र
Sarvatra
नभिष्णेह
Vishneha.
Tat prapya shubhashubham.
तत्तत् प्राप्य
Tatprapya
शुभाशुभम्
Shubhashubham.
Nabhinandati nadveshi.
नाभिनन्दति न द्वेषी
Tasya prajna pratishthita.
तस्य प्रज्ञा प्रतिष्ठिता
Yes, sarvatra na bishnehas.
यः सर्वत्र नभिष्णेह
Vishneha.
Tat prapya shubhashubham.
तत्तत् प्राप्य
Tatprapya
शुभाशुभम्
Shubhashubham.
Nabhinandati nadveshti.
नाभिनन्दति न द्वेषी
Tasya prajna pratishthita.
तस्य प्रज्ञा प्रतिष्ठिता
Uma Mataji, would you like to do?
जी मकताजी Bhagavad Gita chapter 2 text 57 यः सर्वत्रानभिष्णेः
Yes, sarvatra na
Vishneha.
bishnehas.
तत्यत् प्राप्य शुभशुभम्
Tat prapya shubhashubham.
नाभिनन्दति न द्वेषी
Nabhinandati nadveshti.
तस्य प्रज्ञा प्रतिष्ठिता
Tasya prajna pratishtita.
Here, one who sarvatra everywhere anabhinishtah without affection that prapya achieving shubha good ashubham evil na never abhinandati praises na never dvishti envies tasya his prajna perfect knowledge pratishtita fixed. Translation: in the material world, one who is unaffected by whatever good or evil he may obtain, neither praising it nor despising it, is firmly fixed in perfect knowledge.
So Krishna is further saying that whatever he obtains, it may be good or it may be evil. So we saw in the beginning of the first chapter itself, Arjuna was saying that nimittani viparitani. He has come for something because they are all assembled in the battlefield. But whenever somebody is coming the battlefield, they come with the purpose of obtaining something. But what is Arjuna saying there? Viparitani. He is saying something exactly opposite. You are doing something to get something, but what happens to you is exactly opposite to
Opposite
that.
of what?
So nimittani viparitani. But for a devotee, whatever happens, sometimes things happens what we desire. Sometimes things happen exactly opposite to what we desire. We may think something and we may go ahead. But what happens is exactly opposite to what we thought. That's an evil. It may obtain. Neither praising it. Okay, yeah, I did it. I went for it and I got it. I worked so hard for my job promotion. I did so many extra courses and I worked very hard. I work every day. I work for 3-4 hours. I did so many things, so I got it. So feeling very, very this thing or dispraising it. In spite of what I did so much, I did not get promotion. I did not get salary hike. I did not get this. So he will not feel, that I did so much, but I did not get that. So whatever happens in the life, he considers to be the mercy of the Krishna. For example, if a student is preparing for his board exams, and there are several things that are happening during the board exam. So some cricket World Cup is happening, some concert is happening, some new movie is getting released, and the child is very distracted with all the thing. Okay, what will happen in the match? Who will win the match? Okay, this is a nice concert. These people come once in a while. They come once in 5 years. So what in case I miss it? Like that, the student is very distracted. But what does the parent do to the student, to the child? What does the parent says? The parent says, doesn't matter, whatever happens, let it happen. Right now you need to be focused on your studies, because
Studies.
your board exam is coming in few days. Let the world, whatever happens, let it happen in the world. You don't have to get worried about
Distracted.
that. Like a child thinks, oh, it is so much, everything has become so much expensive, so much inflation. So, whatever is that, whether the inflation has become more or whatever it is, but is the child is still getting what he wants, right?
Yeah.
For example, let the notebook be 100 rupees notebook, even if it has become 200 rupees, still the
He
child is
still gets
getting
it.
that. It's not that because it is 200 rupees, the parent is not giving the child the
Yes.
notebook. No. So, whatever happens, that will happen, but you're getting it. So, similarly, in this material world, there are so many upheavals. Something favorable will happen, something not so favorable will happen. Some investment which we do may give good returns, some investment which we have done may give bad returns. Sometimes the inflation may be too high. So there are so many issues around us. Some property you have invested, the builder is delaying the possession.
Hmm.
Like that, so many things can happen to us. But Krishna is saying, let it all happen. Don't worry. You just do bhakti. You be firm in Krishna consciousness. I will give you protection. Right? Krishna, in the six angas of Sharanagati, Krishna says, Raksheshasi Vishwasu. Have a complete faith that I will give you protection. No matter whatever happens in this world, because it's the very nature of the world. In the 8th chapter, Krishna has said this world is Dukh Alayam a Shashwatam. It is a world of misery. Alay means what? Where something is glorified. And in this material world, what is glorified? Dukkha.
Dukhalyams.
Dukhalayam. It is a Dukhalayam. So, when already it is designed to be a Dukkhalay, why are you affected with things that are happening around you? Ashashwat. And it is very temporary.
Temporary.
Whatever happens, it is not going to come with you. We saw in the example of the Gajendra Moksha story. Indradyumna Maharaj, he lost everything. All his possessions, his name, his fame, everything he lost. Even he lost his human form of life also he lost. But what came with him? His
Bhakti.
bhakti
The
only
God
came.
consciousness.
Because everything is temporary in this material world. You may be a president of the country, you may be this, you may be that, but nothing is going to be there. We saw so many emperors, Mughal emperors, so many people. We saw Napoleon. We have so many great, great empires. They had the beginning and they had an
And the
end.
end.
Are they there forever? British rule
No.
in India, they came, they ruled over, but they also had a beginning and they
They
also
got an
had an
end.
end. Everybody, even a very rich person, he will have a beginning and he will have an end. In the Ambanis, one brother flourished, other brother became a
It could
pauper,
not.
right? So this is the thing. Father is a rich man, but one son could not do well, right?
Yeah.
Because in this material world, everything is temporary.
Ashashwat.
Ashashwat hai. So therefore, forget about the things that are happening around you. Forget about the troubles that are happening around you. You just remain firm in Krishna consciousness. You remain focused on your bhakti. You do chanting. Krishna is saying, Man manabhava mad bhakto,
Madbhakto.
madhyaji mam
Madhyaji
namaskuru.
mam namaskuru.
Mame
Mama
vaishati
evaishasi
purvam atmanam
atmanam
matparayanam.
matparanam.
Become my devotee. Worship me. Pay your obeisances to me and accept Krishna. So by doing so, what is Krishna saying? That he is saying that without any doubt, you will come back
I
to
will be there.
you will come to my kingdom. Without any doubt, he is using the word. Without, don't
His
have a
promise.
doubt on this process. If you do this, you will surely get it. Like a mathematics. If you're following a right formula, and if you're inserting the data correctly, and if you're doing the sum correctly, then definitely you will get a good answer, right answer. Is there any way it will go wrong? If the formula is correct, if the data are inserted correctly, if the working was correct, then the answer has to come, right?
Yeah.
So similarly, if you are following the process given by Krishna, then you will definitely go back home, back to Godhead. For that, we need to have the faith in Krishna's instruction. When Krishna himself is saying Sarvadharman Parityacha Mamekam Sharanam
Mekam
Vraja,
Sharanam Vraja.
abandon all varieties of dharma and just surrender to me. Aham tvam sarva papebhyo. I will get rid of
Mokshishyami.
all your papa and moksheshami masuja. I will give you moksha. Therefore, we should have the faith, not concerned about the things that are happening around
Around
us.
us.
So, there is one small story I would like to say. In a kingdom, once there was a person who was complaining to the king, saying that, everybody is talking ill around me. Not a single person in this kingdom is talking good about me. Everybody is talking ill about me. Then the king thought about it. If some person feels everybody is talking ill about him, that means there is some problem with that person. May not be with all the people. So he said that I will give you a task. You have to hold the oil in the pot and you have to circumambulate this palace. And if you drop even a single drop of oil, then your head will be cut. And he got more panicked. I came to the king talking about my problem, and the king became more evil to me by giving me such a punishment. So now he is carrying the oil, the pot which contains oil, and he is very carefully going around the palace. And he comes back to the king without even dropping a single drop of oil.
Drop of oil.
And the king was asking him, how did you do that? There were so many people around you. Everybody were looking at you. Everybody were thinking what will happen to you. The so many servants were looking at you. So many people from outside were looking at you. How come you could still make it? He said, no, I was thinking about saving my life. So my focus was only in this pot and the oil. I did not see anybody who was looking at me. So this person, when he was completely free from distraction, his focus was only there. Therefore, the king gave him a lesson to focus only on himself, not to
Himself.
bother what
About
others are
around him.
talking about us. Talking about us. So therefore, he got a very good lesson. So important thing for us here is to remain focused. We saw that Vyavasayatmika Buddhi, Ekeha Kurunandana. A person in firm Krishna consciousness is Vyavasayatmika Buddhi. He is fixed in determination. He is not Bahushaka. He is only single pointed thing. The same thing we see where Krishna is elaborately explaining in Bhagavad Gita. Actually, Bhagavad Gita is for us to surrender to Krishna. But Krishna is explaining us through different verses in a different way. Okay. Mataji, please read the purport.
In the previous one, we have not done Mataji. Upar.
Oh, material upheavals.
Yeah. Material upheavals. Here is also always some upheaval in the material world, which may be good or evil. One who is not agitated by such material upheavals, who is unaffected by good and evil, is to be understood to be fixed in Krishna consciousness.
Prabhupada has given a very nice word called upheavals. In this material world, suddenly somebody might get a great fortune. He may get a lottery. He might have been a pauper. Suddenly he may win a lottery of 5 crores and he may become a rich man. And suddenly some reversals can happen. The industry which is flourishing very nicely, it can get shut down or it can become bankrupt. Like we saw companies like Nokia, they were the first in the mobile device services. But where are they now? Nowhere, right?
No.
So we see that, suddenly, some upheavals comes in this world. You flourish, suddenly things happen very, very bad to us, right? A person who was a very from rags to riches, sometime from riches to rags. Like
Rags.
that people, or some material world is always of duality, dvandva. This is a world of duality. There is good, bad,
Bad.
sukha,
Super.
dukkha, vijay, parajay, and labha, nashta.
Nashta.
Everything is there, heat, cold, everything is there. So this is a world of duality. We saw in the very beginning Krishna
Yeah.
said Matra Sparshastha Kaunteya Shitoshna Sukha Dukkata Agama Apayino Anitya Tam Titishashva Bharata.
Bad.
So how like the season changes, like that sometimes we may be happy, sometimes we may be distressed. Like how the season changes. So what did he say to Arjuna? Tolerate. Tam Titishashva. Titishashva means tolerate. So
Tolerate.
this is a world of duality. So in this world of duality, things can happen favorable or unfavorable to us, maybe good or evil, but a Krishna conscious person is fixed. Nothing affects him. Nothing
Affects him.
affects his path in Krishna consciousness in doing his bhakti towards Krishna, in his
Krishna.
devotional service. Yes, Mataji.
Material world always duality. As long as one is in the material world, there is always the possibility of good and evil because this world is full of duality.
World itself is full of
Yeah.
duality. So what do you get out of it? Either it is going to be good
Bad
or it is
or
going to
bad.
be bad. So whatever comes, we should be able to accept it as a
Accept it.
mercy of Krishna. That's what we Swastitadir Munir. We should not get too much agitated, or we may not get too much elated. Both are not good for us. Okay. So how to
How
overcome duality? Yes.
how to overcome duality. But one who is fixed to Krishna consciousness is not affected by good and evil because he is simply concerned with Krishna, who is all good absolute. Such consciousness is in Krishna situates one in a perfect transcendental position called technically samadhi.
So generally they say it is very difficult to attain the stage of samadhi if you're following the Ashtanga yoga process of yama, niyama, pratyahara, and all those things, that eightfold. It's very, very difficult to attain samadhi. You need to exclude yourself from the entire world. You need to go to a very peaceful place and you need to do. But in this particular world, in the Kali Yuga, in the current age where we are living, is it possible for us to leave everything and to go? No, it is
Difficult.
practically impossible. But
Um,
a person in Krishna consciousness can attain this stage of samadhi, being with this world, living in this world, being a part of your family, serving your company, everything you can do, but still you can attain that stage of samadhi. So it's a very practical and a simple process, a Krishna consciousness. Anybody, no matter whatever situation we are, whether you're a grahastha, whether you're a brahmachari, whether you're a kshatriya, vaishya, shudra, so Krishna consciousness can be done by any particular person, whether it is a child, whether it is an young person, whether it is a middle age or an old age. Anybody can do Krishna consciousness no matter whatever position you are. Even if you're in a hospital, even if you cannot talk, you cannot do, you can at least hear Mahamantra. You can hear some Srimad Bhagavatam. What can be a situation where a person cannot do anything for Krishna? Please give me an example. Can there be any situation where a person cannot do anything for Krishna? Worst
as
thing
long as
a
he's alive.
person can do, at least remember Krishna.
Yeah.
You may not be sometime able to do Shravanam. You may not be able to sometime do Kirtanam. But what about Smaranam? Smaranam, remembering Krishna. That much can one do. And that is also one of the devotional service. Imagine just remembering Krishna is a devotional service. Sometimes, we need to do a lot. We have a lot of desires to serve the Lord, but we are not able to serve the Lord due to our health condition or anything. But even if you are mentally offering, the Lord is accepting our mental offering also, right? So we saw Samadhi is a person fixed in Krishna consciousness and he is affected by duality. What kind of duality is good or evil? When it is good, he is not too much praising about it. So happy about it and praising. And when he's evil, when something evil happens, he is not despising, hate that.
What
Okay,
has
why
happened
did
to
this happen to me like that? So that is a person who is in samadhi. So if you are not affected by dualities, that means you're in samadhi. And by following the process of Krishna consciousness, one can easily come out of this process of duality. Because, as I said, first time when I was reading Bhagavad Gita, when Krishna was talking about sama, 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 I found it very difficult because these are all the feelings given, right? When you're happy, you feel so happy. So, how can one come to the stage of duality? I mean, come out of the duality. I've thought that this is all something going to be only theoretical, it cannot happen practical. But by following the process of Krishna consciousness, by doing so, I may not say I'm in the Paramahamsa stage, but somewhere where you are able to take all
the
the
process?
situations in a equal way, right? So we saw that Lord Krishna continues to answer to the second question, how does he
Does
speak?
he speak?
And he is not affected by good and evil. Material world is anyway full of relativities and duality,
And
and there is
dualities
always some upheaval. Something good or something bad always happens.
happens.
But what is the soul concerned? The soul is simply concerned with Krishna, because the real constitutional position of the soul is Jivera Swarupa Hoy Krishnera Nityadas. And who is Krishna is absolute truth, who is always good and absolute. So such Krishna conscious person is in perfect transcendental position called as Samadhi.
Samadhi.
So Krishna conscious person is not affected by the good or evil. Whatever comes in, he takes it in an equipoised way, because his goal is what? Krishna. The goal of his life is to obtain Krishna.
Krishna.
That is his goal. When the goal is clear, when you have a firm goal, whatever happens in the path, will we get distracted? No. A person who is winning a gold medal in Olympics, he might also face lot of problems. To get the Olympics gold medal, it's not easy. But is he concerned about the problems around him? No. If such person who becomes concerned with every problems around him, such people cannot become
He'll not be
successful at
touched.
all,
Yeah.
even in this material world. Right?
Yeah.
So, for a devotee, we should know that this human form of life is very, very rare. Out of 84 lakhs species of life, one gets a human form of life. That too, we got an opportunity to take up the process of Krishna consciousness. So, Krishna has bestowed this mercy on us by giving us Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, by giving us devotee association, by giving us Guru, Sadhu, and Shastras. He has given everything. The human body is a boat, and the captain is a spiritual master, and the Shastras or the favorable wind. So we have a boat, a human body, which is a perfect boat, which is not so easy. We cannot expect cats and dogs to come and hear Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, right? So human
Yeah.
body is a perfect boat. And who is the captain of the boat? Is the spiritual master. And the favorable winds or the Shastras, Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. By doing that, we can cross this material ocean. And elsewhere in the sloka, what did Brahmaji says? Bhavambudir Vatsa Padam Param Padam. For a devotee, the Bhavasagar becomes as small as the water contained in the footprints of the calf. Padam Param Padam. And where does he go? He goes to the place where there is no misery. Not in the place where Padam Padam
There
ki
is misery.
Vipadam Natesham. In this material world, we see that there is a danger in every step.
Everything.
But a devotee who has taken shelter of Krishna, his goal of life is to go to Padam Param Padam, go to Vaikunta, where there is no misery, and not to continue to live in the world which is full of miseries. And if our goal is Krishna, by doing the chanting 16 rounds, honoring Krishna Prasadam, and reading Bhagavad Gita, reading Bhagavatam, hearing to pure devotees like Srila Prabhupada, and also serving the devotees of Krishna and Krishna, so we can attain perfection in the life. Sevor mukohi jikvahu. Just by engaging our tongue in the service of Krishna, by chanting Krishna's name and by honoring Krishna Prasadam, just one sense, by engaging in Krishna, we can go back home, back to Godhead. In elevation to, in the book Topmost Yoga System, Prabhupada has said that those who have only engage their tongue in Krishna service will see Krishna face to face. So if we are continuously engaging our tongue only in Krishna service, then we will definitely see Krishna face to face. It is just
Face.
because of a material covering, we are not able to see Krishna, right? For example, if you're going to a movie and watching a 3D movie without the glasses, can you watch the 3D effects? No. So you
No.
need a medium, right? Of the glass through which we can see the 3D effects. So similarly, we need to become pure. We need to come out of the material covering. Once we come out of the material covering, then we can see Krishna face to face. It is that material covering which is stopping us from seeing Krishna face to
See.
face, realizing our real position. Therefore, we need to establish ourselves firmly in Krishna consciousness. So, such a beautiful slokas, right, in Bhagavad Gita.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
many times, people say that, ISKCON is promoting Krishna. It is not that ISKCON is promoting Krishna. Is Bhagavad Gita is not written by ISKCON, right?
Yeah.
Bhagavad Gita is
God has
written by God. So
Sri Krishna.
Prabhupada
Correct.
has given us Krishna consciousness by properly explaining Bhagavad Gita. That is what Krishna wanted, right?
Yeah.
So these are all the instructions given by Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, which Prabhupada has made it easy by giving us a society for us to practice, which is called International Society of Krishna Consciousness. Therefore, we have people, like-minded people, and we get association. Therefore, we can further ourselves in Krishna consciousness. That's all. But the base of Krishna consciousness is only the Shastras, Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam.
Bhagavatam.
Okay, we'll do the Narsimha Pranam. नमस्ते
Namaste
नरसिंहाय
Narasimhaya
प्रह्लादलादधायिने हिरण्यकाशिपुरुषः
Purvakshapa
शीलटङ्कानकाये
Anganakaye
इतो
Ito
नरसिंहा
Narsima
परतो
Parato
नरसिंहा
Narsimha
यतो यतो यामि ततो
Yamitato
नरसिंहा
Narsimha
भगे
Bhage
नरसिंहा हृदये नरसिंहा
Narsimha
नरसिंहमदिं
Adim
शरणं
Sharanapade
प्रपद्ये तव
Tavakamala
कमरे
Vanakam
अद्भुत
Adbhuta
शृङ्गार
Shringa
दलित
Dalita
हिरण्यकशिपु
Hiranyakshipu
तनुभृङ्गां केशवधृता
Keshavadrita
नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश
Jagadeesha
हरे
Hare
जय
Jai
जगदीश हरे जय नरसिंहदेव जय
Jai
नरसिंहदेव नरसिंहदेव जय
Jai Jai
नरसिंहदेव
Simhadev
जय प्रहलाद
Jai
महाराज प्रहलाद महाराज प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय जय
Jai Jai Prabhupada
प्रभुपाद 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 जय
Jai
जय
Jai
प्रभुपाद
Prabhupada
जय गुरुदेव गुरुदेव
Gurudev Gurudev
गुरुदेव जय
Jai
जय
Jai
गुरुदेव
Gurudev
भक्ति विघ्न विनाशक नरसिंह भगवान की जय भक्ति शिरोमणि प्रहलाद महाराज की जय
Jai
श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय हरे
Jai
कृष्णा
Hare Krishna Mataji.
एनी क्वेश्चंस और